The following is a production of Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports.
Hardline drive by Garrigan, one hop to second base, and it gets through! It gets through into right field. Garrigan takes the lead. Trainer scores. Here comes Heliseth. 3-1 Golden Bears. Thompson stealing. Furch is going to throw through. It's a great throw, and they got him at second base. Tate Furch does it again. 2-2 pitch. Schwab ground ball up the middle, and that one's going to sneak through into center field for a base hit. Here comes Furch. 5-2 Bishop Garrigan. Bags are full. Lappy winds. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three. The Golden Bears hang on in Forest City.
Video streaming on the Algona Radio YouTube channel is brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. Kemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. And Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. Now, here's Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports Director, Tyler Lance.
Friday night baseball here in Lake Mills, Iowa, where tonight, two of the top pitchers in the top of Iowa West square off. It's the Lake Mills Bulldogs hosting the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears in battle of what could be two of the best teams as well here in the top of Iowa West Conference. Good evening, everyone, and this is going to be a treat here tonight. Friday night baseball on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Not only a matchup between the 2-1, two-time defending conference champion Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears and the 3-0 Lake Mills Bulldogs, but also a battle of two of the best pitchers in the top of Iowa West. Both teams recognizing the importance of this conference game and throwing their aces here tonight. Of course, for Bishop Garrigan, you will see Dan Mice on the pitching rubber for the first time this season. Bishop Garrigan's 8-win pitcher from last year, their workhorse, their 100 strikeout guy, and he goes tonight against Lake Mills to get his season on the mound underway. But Lake Mills, they have a weapon to respond with of their own. Their senior pitcher, Kane Cook, he's the guy Lake Mills turns to whenever they need a big win. He was one of the best pitchers in the conference last year as well, and he will try to match 0 for 0 with Dan Mice here tonight. Runs are going to be valuable each and every time around. Runs will be at a premium. The offenses will try to scratch across a few runs here tonight on a beautiful evening here in Lake Mills, Iowa. A little bit of a breeze, but it is blowing in, so that could help out the pitchers as well here in this ball game. So the Golden Bears and the Lake Mills Bulldogs ready to go at it. Bishop Garrigan lost that season opener in the crosstown showdown against Algona, but they played on Tuesday night against Belmont-Clemmy, sweeping a doubleheader and really righting the ship with 10-0 and 9-0 wins over the Belmont-Clemmy Broncos to pick up those first two conference wins of the season. Meanwhile, Lake Mills, they have been punishing the baseball so far this season. 3 pretty convincing wins. They opened up maybe less convincing with a 3-0 win over West Hancock, but then they pounded Belmont-Clemmy 20-9 and beat Central Springs last night 16-6. Lake Mills has not yet trailed in a game this season, so safe to say it has been an excellent 3-game start so far for the Lake Mills Bulldogs. We'll see these teams go at it here tonight on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. With that, we'll take a look at the starting lineups for this game. First for Bishop Garrigan, they will lead things off with their catcher Tate Furch. Dan Mice, the starting pitcher, bats second. Carter Schwab at first base, batting third. Brady Galligan, the shortstop, bats cleanup. Nick Lear in center field, hitting fifth. Aiden Deitring at third base, batting sixth. Caden Graves at second base, batting seventh. Drew Moeller in at right field, hitting eighth. And Thad Kolash rounds out the lineup, playing left field and in that number 9 spot. For the Lake Mills Bulldogs, it'll be Nash Delger leading things off into center field. Stephen Brandenburg is at shortstop tonight, and he is batting second. Kane Cook, the starting pitcher, hitting third. In the cleanup spot, it's Hayden Helgeson, the catcher for Lake Mills. Jackson Gall at second base, batting fifth. Leaf Rogany at third base, hitting sixth. Zach Steeney in left field, batting seventh. Corbin Obley at first base, hitting eighth. And Jeremiah Jensen plays right field and rounds out the lineup, batting ninth. The Lake Mills Bulldogs and the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears ready to go at it at 7:30 on 92.7 KLGA. We'll step aside for a few messages here. Want to come back to tonight's first pitch, a top of Iowa West showdown here in Lake Mills, Iowa, and on Hometown Radio.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Gray Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game. Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Tate Furch, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
All right, national anthem just wrapping up here from Lake Mills, Iowa, as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears take on the Lake Mills Bulldogs tonight on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Our video stream brought to you by our many great video streaming sponsors, including Chemda Auto Center and Experience You Deserve, Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit, Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident, Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed, and PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. Lake Mills, the home team here tonight. They're wearing the white home uniforms. It's white pants, white jersey tops with the purple sleeves, purple numerals on the front and back of the jersey, and the script Bulldogs underlined as well, outlined in yellow, and they have the vertical pinstripes up and down both the uniform tops and uniform pants. Bishop Garrigan has the road gray pants and the black uniform top, the script Garrigan in yellow, outlined in white, the yellow numerals front and back outlined in white as well. The baseball caps for Bishop Garrigan have the G on the front and the gold brim with the black base of the hat as Bishop Garrigan gets ready to face Kane Cook, the starting pitcher for Lake Mills. Cook, the right-handed senior, was excellent last year, pitched in 10 games, 8 of them starts. He had a 6-4 record and an ERA of 2.83. Cook struck out 66 batters and only walked 32 in 47 innings pitched, and opposing batters hit a microscopic 152 against that Lake Mills right-hander. He will face the top of the Bishop Garrigan order of Tate Furch, Dan Mice, and Carter Schwab this inning as the Golden Bear offense looks to really get clicking here early in the season against a tough customer for Lake Mills. Like you mentioned, both teams throwing their aces here tonight for this important top of Iowa West Conference game, as both teams so far undefeated in conference play. Lake Mills 2-0 in the conference with wins over Belmont Clemmy and West Hancock. Bishop Garrigan also 2-0, sweeping a doubleheader over Belmont Clemmy in conference play. It's a beautiful night here from Lake Mills, about 71 degrees, and it's clear skies, although we do have some haze outside, some of that Canadian wildfire smoke, especially as we go a little bit north here to Lake Mills, and not too far away from the state of Minnesota, which I'd say is an honorary part of Canada at this point, but a little bit of wildfire smoke in the air, but nothing too crazy here tonight as far as the weather forecast is concerned. The breeze is blowing a little bit in and a little bit across the field towards that first base dugout where Garrigan resides in, so this is probably going to be a little bit of a pitcher's breeze here tonight. The batters are not going to get a ton of a boost from any wind here in tonight's game. Now, at this Lake Mills field, it's very interesting dimensions, and it is a shallow field here as well. 306 feet down the left field line. Out to center field, it's 322 feet, and 287 feet to right field. The scoreboard here at Lake Mills is out in right center field, just beyond the fence, and you have that concession stand out to dead center field as well. Cars and trucks lining the outfield wall, people watching there. And a great vantage point for tonight's game as Tate Furch digs in for Bishop Garrigan to face off against Kane Cook and start off today's game. Tate Furch, a weapon at the plate last season for Bishop Garrigan, batting .371 with 1 homer and 26 runs knocked in for last year's edition of the Golden Bears. And he's up into the leadoff spot for this year, trying to set the table against Cook. He waves and misses as Cook brought a little juice on that fastball, and we are underway here from Lake Mills. Cook going with the hard stuff early on. Defensively for Lake Mills, it's Helgeson behind home plate, Rogny at third, Brandenburg at short, Gall at second, Obley at first. Cook hands at the belt, motions and offers up the 0-1. Furch pops that one high in the air right side of the infield. Obley at first base, locating the ball, drifting into foul territory now, and he puts it away for out number 1 of the inning as Tate Furch retired on the second pitch, a pop out into foul territory at first base. That'll bring Dan Mice to the plate, Bishop Garrigan's starting pitcher here tonight, wearing those high socks for the Golden Bears. Lake Mills in the outfield, left to right. They have Steeny, Delger, and Jensen. Back to work goes Kane Cook, senior right-hander for Lake Mills. Sharpshooter on the basketball court as well as he fires in a fastball to Mice. And that is a strike 1 called. Golden Bears will have to adjust to that velocity early on as Cook is going to rear back and throw, force them to beat his fastball, and then go to the secondary stuff after that if the Golden Bears start to dial that in. Cook rocks and brings the 0-1 pitch. Another fastball, and Mice very tardy on that pitch. Cook keeping that one down in the zone, and Mice couldn't catch up as he's quickly behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Mice last year for the Golden Bears batted .240, 1 homer and 15 runs knocked in. Right-hander hitting near the back of that box. Holds the bat almost vertically above that right shoulder. Pitch to Mice. Fastball called, strike 3. Mice thought it was a little bit high, but the umpire says that is at the letters. And the first K of the night by Kane Cook, who has been leaning on the fastball early in this game. That was 3 consecutive fastballs to Mice. And that pitch at the letters for the called strike 3 as Carter Schwab steps in. First lefty of the night for the Golden Bears at the dish. And Schwab moving into that number 3 hole in the lineup, coming off a season that saw him hit .422 and did knock in 29 runs for the Golden Bears. Schwab watches a fastball a little bit low and outside for ball 1. 1-0 count here from Cook. Brady Garrigan, the starting shortstop, on deck should anyone get on base. Schwab wearing the white batting gloves, the black fingers. Hits about halfway up in that left-handed box as he rests the bat on that back shoulder and then lifts it up as Cook motions. He skips the fastball in the dirt, and Schwab able to work ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield relatively straight up here for Schwab. The center fielder, Delger, maybe a step towards right center field to the left-handed hitter, Schwab. Cook nods as he has the sign that he wants. The Lake Mills righty fires in the 2-0. Fastball fouled back by Schwab. Not a very convincing cut there on the 2-0 pitch, but got a piece of it to foul back to the padding behind home plate as the count 2 balls and 1 strike. It is a pretty small foul territory behind home plate here at Lake Mills. A little bit more expansive out in the outfield, but it is not a give me on a passed ball if that does happen to occur tonight. 2-1 pitch from Cook. Fastball fouled back to the screen. It was a high fastball about letter high, and Schwab maybe just a little bit late and a little bit underneath that one as the Golden Bears still working on timing up that fastball early here from Kane Cook. He has not shown anything yet besides the heater, and the Golden Bears have not really done any damage yet. Just a couple of foul balls and a foul pop-up. 2-2 count, 2 outs, nobody on base. Cook's offering. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Domination in inning number 1 for Kane Cook. Sets the Golden Bears down 1-2-3 with a couple of punch-outs, and he moved to the bottom half of 1. Bishop Garrigan and Lake Mills. No score on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Erpelding Void and Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Sports club members bringing you this game. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Dan Mice. You're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Starting pitcher Dan Mice and the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears take the field here in the bottom half of inning number 1. No score between the Lake Mills Bulldogs and Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears as Mice makes his first start of the season. And boy, was he a workhorse last year, moving into that ace role for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. Also pitched in this very diamond last year as he went up against Lake Mills, but more on that later on. Mice, the senior right-hander, pitched in 15 games last season, 12 of them starts. His record, 8 wins and 2 losses. He threw 69 and 2/3 innings with a 2.01 ERA, 100 strikeouts and 41 walks. Opponents batted a very small 167 against him. Like we said, both teams throwing their ace here tonight, so expect an adjustment process early in this ballgame from both sides, as Bishop Garrigan certainly saw that in inning number 1. The dangerous trio, Furch, Mice, and Schwab, went down very quickly against Kane Cook, and now Lake Mills will lead things off here with Delger, Brandenburg, and Cook. As we said, Lake Mills off to a 3-0 start to the season, 2 of those being top of Iowa West wins. Last night, a win over top of Iowa East opponent, Central Springs, as Lake Mills comes off a season that saw them last year finish 15-9 overall, though they only placed 5th in the top of Iowa West Conference. Once you got past Bishop Garrigan and Forest City, there was a pretty big middle of the conference, and a lot of teams were pretty interchangeable there, Lake Mills among that. But this is a big early season game for both teams, both undefeated in the conference, and if you're Lake Mills, you're thinking the games against Forest City and Bishop Garrigan especially are really the defining games early in the season, as Mice winds and delivers. The right-handed hitter Delger takes that one for a called strike. To contend for a conference title, you probably have to go at least 2-2 against the pair of Bishop Garrigan and Forest City, if not 3-1, as that pitch is down and away for a ball. On the fastball, 1-1 for Mice. Lake Mills certainly a team that is capable of doing that, especially on nights where they have Cook pitching. And they know that offensively they might not need to get a ton of runs to support Cook. 1-1 pitch. Another fastball by Mice, zipping in the heater early on, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Delger. The pesky leadoff hitter for Lake Mills, 30-plus steals last season, waving the bat above that right shoulder as he rolls that one towards second base, sliding and knocking down at second base, throwing to first base is Graves, but not in time as the speedy Delger able to beat that one out. Even if Graves fielded that one cleanly, that was going to be a tough play for the Bishop Garrigan Jr. Sliding to the backhanded side, bobbled it a little bit, recovered quickly, but again, you're not getting a guy at the speed of Delger at first base on a play like that. So Lake Mills does have the leadoff runner aboard after that 1-2 count base hit by Delger. Delger was perfect last year, 33 steals and 33 attempts Although Tate Furch did throw out 13 potential base stealers last season as he's ready to throw here. It is a bunt attempt, but it's fouled back by Steven Brandenburg, the left-handed hitting shortstop for Lake Mills, count 0-1. Brandenburg last year as a sophomore batted .224 for Lake Mills, but a .398 on-base percentage as he walked 18 times. Climbs back into the box against Mice. It's about halfway up in that left-handed box and holds the bat a little bit higher than his head. Pick off to first, and they picked him off! They picked him off! What a move by Mice! Delger thought he got back in there, but the field umpire disagreed, and what a big first out that is. You erase the threat of Delger stealing second base, and you get a first out of the inning and make it 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom half of 1, as Mice can now go back to the windup. 0-1 count, as Bishop Garrigan's defense will adjust to the fact that nobody is on now. The wind in the pitch by Mice. Fastball will miss off the inside part of the plate, and that will certainly make you uncomfortable as a hitter, seeing the Mice heater coming in on your hands like that. 1-1 count here to Brandenburg. Mice working efficiently, delivers downstairs. Down at about ankle levels, the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike on the lefty Brandenburg. Cook on deck, Helgeson in the hole for Lake Mills, and Mice behind here 2-1. Wind and the pitch, and he went upstairs that time, but too high, maybe a little bit out as well, as Brandenburg works ahead 3-1. This is the one thing that Lake Mills can potentially do against Mice, is the wind in the 3-1 pitch. Upstairs for ball 4. Brandenburg walks on the 3-1 count, and Lake Mills reestablishes a base runner at first base. And that pickoff looks a lot bigger now after that walk to Brandenburg. That's one thing that we talked about with Coach Meister before the season, though. He said the next step in Mice's game is cutting down on those walks. He did walk 41 guys last year, and that pitch count can get a little bit high if he loses control early in the ball game. So something to watch for here is how long these Lake Mills at-bats end up being. Cook, right-handed hitting pitcher, steps in. Ball is low, nicely blocked by Furch, sliding over to the right, and it is a 1-0 count. Brandenburg stole quite a few bags last year as well. 16 for 16 and a healthy lead at first. They may be testing Mice's pickoff again. He throws to first, and Brandenburg that time got back in. That throw was a little bit to the outside of Schwab there. Had to bring the glove back over. Well, Lake Mills is going to lead aggressively at first base, and they're going to run the bases extremely aggressively. They were a very good running team last year, as that one is in there for a called strike. Controlling the run game really big on both sides here tonight. But if you look at it, Lake Mills, they are 25 out of 25 on stolen bases this season, so even if the catcher like Furch behind home plate, they may be testing Bishop Garrigan at some point tonight. Mice slide step in the pitch, goes with the fastball again, and it's a 1-2 count. Mice not trying to show too many breaking balls here first time for the lineup. Much like Cook, you want the hitters to prove they can hit the fastball before you really start working a lot of secondary stuff. But everything on the table here for 1-2 count. Missed up and away, Furch fakes the throw to first base, but Brandenburg scampers back over there as the count's even at 2-2. Defensively for Bishop Garrigan, Furch is behind the dish. Deitring at third base, Galgan at short, Graves at second, and Schwab at first. They'll throw to first base again. This time it gets away from Schwab, and Brandenburg is on his way to second base. Brandenburg will stutter step and stop right there at the bag as the pickoff attempt goes awry, and a runner in scoring position for Lake Mills with the double play now out of the equation. Kane Cook, the .355 hitter last year, back into the box. It's about halfway up in that right-handed box. As a 2-2 count right now for Mice. A look towards second base, and the pitch, low and outside fastballs. Cook lets it go. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. In the outfield for Bishop Garrigan, it's Kolash in left, Lear in center, and Moeller in right. In this smaller outfield, like we said, a shorter fence here from the Lake Mills baseball and softball complex. And that is a high fastball. Cook getting right after it and fouling it out of the complex entirely as that ball is heading across the street. One of the neighbors here at this baseball diamond will have to pick that one up and return it to the field. Full count now to Cook. Mice has the sign he wants from Furch. Looks towards second as Galgan dances behind the base runner. The payoff pitch. Sails the fastball up high for ball 4. And Mice struggling a little bit with control early on. A couple of walks. And Lake Mills has something brewing in the first. First and second, only 1 out. Schwab comes in on the grass at first base. And the batter now, Hayden Helgeson, who's off to an excellent start at the dish. And Coach Meister for Bishop Garrigan already seeing something he doesn't like early on, maybe mechanically of Mice, as he will come out to the mound. The thing with Mice that we talked about last year, and you can talk about certainly tonight, he has enough velocity at his fastball that he doesn't have to throw it up there 100% every time. You can throw a 90 to 95% effort fastball and still have a lot of good velocity and maybe have a little better control, and that can be a common conversation of pitchers who bring the heat. You can control it and pace yourself throughout the course of the game. Kane Cook will head back to the dugout for Lake Mills as a courtesy runner coming in here for the Bulldogs to first base, as Cook will get ready to pitch in the next half of the inning. It is Newt Rogney at first base. Rogney last year, when Bishop Garrigan played Lake Mills here in Lake Mills, Rogney came on in relief in a game where Lake Mills trailed 8-0, and he really stifled the Golden Bear offense as Lake Mills nearly came back, but the final score in that game was 8-5 Golden Bears. Mice looks towards second base, and he misses down and away with the fastball, 1-0 count. Bishop Garrigan last year defeated Lake Mills 12-2 from Bishop Garrigan High School and 8-5 here in Lake Mills. Overall, the Golden Bears 16-5 against Lake Mills dating back to 2012 as they've won their last 8 against the Bulldogs. The look towards second by Mice and the pitch, and that fastball burns up and away for a ball, 2-0 count. Lake Mills' last win against Bishop Garrigan came in the 2020 season on June 19th. That was also the last season that Lake Mills won the Top of Iowa West Conference title. Schwab stays in on the grass at first base. Mice 1-0 offering. Popped high in the air, straight up at home plate. The wind might take that one, though. Furch towards the first base dugout. He looks, and he makes the grab right at the screen. With inches to spare, Tate Furch makes the catch, and boy, is that a big out for Mice. The runners must stay put at first and second base as the dangerous Hayden Helgeson retired on the foul pop to the catcher. It'll be up to Jackson Gall now, the two-out hitter here for Lake Mills, starting second baseman. Gall, a right-handed hitter who hits all the way at the back of that right-handed box. His foot just an inch or two off the chalk. Pitch to Gall, fastball, snapped for the first by Furch, and back into a dive is Rogney, the courtesy runner. It's Brandenburg at second base, Rogney at first. Both runners on board via walks for Lake Mills, but now 2 outs in the bottom of the first as Mice's pitch count is quickly escalating. Mice with the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss as he powered the fastball past Gall. And the 1-0 count now, or the 1-1 count, beg your pardon, with 2 outs. Mice works quickly, he quick pitched him, and there's a swing and a miss. A tardy hack there by Gall as he couldn't catch up to the high fastball, and it's 1-2. Mice right back aboard the rubber as Gall is going to wisely step out here and force Mice to slow it down a little bit. Wind now blowing straight in from that flagpole in right center field. Mice with the 1-2 pitch. He skipped it in. Furch tried to pick it on the backhand side. Runners got a late break, but they will advance. Second and third now for Lake Mills. Furch, normally a very good blocking catcher, but he was not able to get over there and block that one. Tried to pick it on the backhand side, and it didn't go far away, but far enough where Lake Mills puts 2 runners in scoring position. Brandenburg at third base. Rogney at second. And back into the box is Gall. Mice will go to the windup here. Runners at second and third. The 2-2 offering. Tapper at home plate. That one is in fair territory. Furch picks it up, throws to first, and a very late foul call at home plate. I did think that was fouled off the batter, Jackson Gall, but the umpire waited about 3 seconds before he called anything. In fact, the Bishop Garrigan first baseman, Carter Schwab, was so sure that was foul, he was just standing there at first base, not even moving towards the bag until he said, uh-oh, Tate Furch's throw is coming my way. I better get to first in case they do call that a fair ball. Again, I think the right call is made there, but that was a late foul call. 2-2 pitch. Flied in the air towards left field, curving towards foul territory. Kolash will give it a look, and that will drop in just foul territory. Hard to see here on the video stream, folks, but that did drop foul, and that was nearly a bloop double down the left field line by Gall. Instead, it's a 2-2 count, and the runners returning to second and third base. Scoreless in the first inning as Bishop Garrigan taking on Lake Mills tonight. Mice awaiting the ready to go from the home plate umpire. Immediately brings the 2-2, skipped it into dirt. Furch with the backhanded knockdown behind home plate. The count full 3-2. Rogney on deck for Lake Mills. Steeny after that. But a 3-2 count right now of 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Ground ball towards the right side. Graves fields it cleanly. Had trouble unloading that ball, but he got it out of his glove eventually and got to first base for out number 3. The Golden Bears dodge a bullet in inning number 1 as Lake Mills leaves runners at second and third. We stay scoreless heading to the top half of 2 on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears will try to figure out Kane Cook as we begin the top half of the second inning. Cook was dominant in the first as he mowed through the Golden Bear lineup with a foul pop out on a couple of strikeouts. And now this inning he will face Brady Galligan, Nick Lear, and Aiden Deitring. Galligan, the shortstop for Bishop Garrigan, has progressively climbed his way into a bigger and bigger role each season for the Golden Bears and finds himself in the cleanup spot here for this season. Starting shortstop wearing that knee brace on his right leg. Suffered an injury during some off-season ball, but fortunately cleared to play as he hits at the back of that right-handed box. Galligan also a key pitcher for the Golden Bears as he will take that one up and away from Cook for ball one, 1-0 count. Again, it may look like a cloudy night for those of you watching on the video stream, but it's a clear night. Just a little bit hazy of some wildfire smoke coming down here to the northern U.S. And Lake Mills certainly here in the top of Iowa. They are geographically accurate of the top of Iowa West Conference name, as it's a 2-0 count now to Galligan. But always a great environment here at Lake Mills High School. The softball and the baseball field are back-to-back. Over in right center field, you see the softball diamond, where the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bear girls played earlier tonight. I will say, don't have the final score for you folks on that one as Galligan grounds that one towards shortstop. It is charged by Brandenburg. He has to unload quickly, and he does to beat Galligan by a couple of steps. Well played by Brandenburg, and it's 4 up, 4 down so far for the Golden Bears. I will tell you folks this, though. Bishop Garrigan's girls were up 9-3 over on the softball diamond. That was during the third inning, and it was a display of power put on by Bishop Garrigan as Nick Lear steps into the batter's box. Lear, the starting center fielder, looming in there at 6 feet 6 inches. The big target for Cook to aim for. Big strike zone here as Cook winds and fires. Lear first pitch swinging late on the fastball, 0-1. The Golden Bears are up 9-3 in the third inning, and I was informed all 3 seniors on Bishop Garrigan's team hit home runs, including Molly Peterson, first career home run, and it was a grand slam. So we'll see if the Golden Bears held on to that lead or not on the softball diamond, but they were up 9-3 early. Zoe Montag going deep for the second time this season, and Hannah Marin, she's played 3 games and hit 3 home runs. In unrelated news, the Golden Bear softball team has also said, yeah, Tyler, you don't need to cover any of our games for the rest of the season. We'll be good without you here from here on out. 0-2 count. Cook, he will wind it up and he will fire. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Lear is extinguished on the fastball. Cook with 3 strikeouts in the first 5 batters, and it has been a very quiet offensive start for the Golden Bears with some quick at-bats. Up now to the plate, Aiden Deitring, the third baseman. We saw Deitring play sparingly on varsity last season. He appeared in 6 games, went over 3 at the plate. Started that early season game against Pleasantville last year when some of the Bishop Garrigan athletes were at state track and not on the baseball diamond as that pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Well, it's a reloading type of situation for the Golden Bears, but it does feel like a pretty different lineup from last season. Deitring part of that new crop as the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Golden Bears are chasing after that high fastball. There was a high fastball called strike to Mice early in the game that he didn't like, and since that time, the Golden Bears have really been having to go after that letter high pitch. Cook, 0-2 count, 2 outs, nobody on base. And he missed outside of the fastball. Deitring not tempted on that one as the count goes to 1-2. Graves on deck, Moeller in the hole for Bishop Garrigan. No scores. We play in the top half of the second inning from Lake Mills. Cook with the motion, offers up the 1-2. And Deitring got a piece of that one and fouled it off over to the right side. That Bishop Garrigan school bus is sitting just outside of the fence, right by the first base stands, but cleared over that, so no damage to the bus yet, but that is in precarious territory. I will say they did strategically park it behind a couple of trees, so hopefully that provides a little shelter if any foul pop-ups go over there. 1-2 count by Cook. Called strike 3 at the letters. That time he did go off speed, and Deitring was fooled. That is already 4 strikeouts by Cook. 6 up, 6 down for the Golden Bears. We go to the bottom of 2. No score here in Lake Mills on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Gray Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Carter Schwab, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
No score so far here in Lake Mills. The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears take on the Lake Mills Bulldogs. This inning, it'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the Lake Mills batting order, with Leaf Rogney, Zach Steeney, and Corbin Obley due to hit against Dan Mice. Mice bobbed and weaved for the first inning, but he did keep Lake Mills off the scoreboard as he tries to trade zeros here of Kane Cook, the Lake Mills ace. Left-handed batter Rogney stepping in. The wind and the pitch by Mice, and Rogney tardy on that cut. Letter high fastball in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Beautiful evening here in Lake Mills. It seems that most of the crowd is not in the bleachers behind home plate or up the first or third base lines, but most of the crowd has set up those folding chairs outside, out beyond the outfield fence, and even a lot of people sitting in the back of pickup trucks or other cars, as Mice will just miss on that one. 2-1 count. And you look up the first base line, and behind the outfield fence, there was just a wall of cars and people sitting by those watching the game. As that one in there for a called strike. 2-2 count. And you can tell people are sitting in their cars because they're ready to step on the gas pedal if a foul ball comes over there. 2-2 pitch. Rogney pops that one up foul behind home plate as that'll get out of play. And we will stay for 2-2 count here on the Lake Mills third baseman. Second left-handed batter in the order for Lake Mills, as they had Brandenburg in that number 2 hole tonight. Mice into the motion, and the 2-2 pitch. There's a roller first baseline foul, and Rogney doing a good job of spoiling a few offerings here from Mice, and it's a 2-2 count once again. Rogney last year as a sophomore only had 3 varsity at-bats. Moves into the starting lineup this year, though. The wind and the 2-2 by Mice. Breaking ball just missed. Good take there by Rogney, and the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. From where we're sitting, we're on the third base side of the field. It is a lot easier to determine high versus low than inside versus outside. Is the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He got him eventually, and Mice has his first K of the night. But boy, was that a battle. He and Rogney with a long drawn-out at bat right there, and Mice eventually wins it. Had to show him a couple of breaking balls there before eventually putting him away for a fastball. Zach Steeney, the left fielder, back to a righty here. Steeney hits out of a slightly open stance, and he will take a heater at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 count. Mice is at his best usually when he works quickly and gets in a good rhythm as he motions and brings the 0-1 pitch. And that one is spiked in there, 1-1 count. And the Lake Mills hitters early on, they've done a good job of at least stepping out or raising that backhand to make sure the umpire holds it before Mice is ready to go. If you're facing a pitcher like Mice who really thrives on rhythm, you've got to find a way to disrupt that rhythm, whether it's just fouling off a lot of pitches or even just stepping out of the box and forcing Mice to slow down a little bit as he relies on good pacing. 1-1 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball right across the belt for a called strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Steeney, the right-handed hitting left fielder. The 1-2 pitch went breaking ball again, down and away in the dirt, and the count even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lake Mills as a team last season batted .247, but you wouldn't know it from how they produced this season. 2-2 pitch, cold strike 3 on the fastball. Boy, Mice is mixing and matching the speeds now, and Lake Mills is going to have a lot to think about in the batter's box. 2 outs, nobody on, and Corbin Obley, the first baseman, standing in. As we said, though, Lake Mills, a 20-run game against Belmont Clemmy and a 20-9 win, and then 16-6 last night over Central Springs, so they have been scoring in bunches. But you don't face a Dan Mice every single night. Obley, right-handed hitter, wagging that bat above the right shoulder. And he takes a fastball, maybe a little bit in that time as the count evens 1-1. Obley, another guy who didn't play a whole lot of varsity last year. No varsity at bats, appeared in just 3 games. As Mice finds the zone for a called strike. Another fastball, and it's 1-2 as he's getting back into that quick rhythm. Into the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Fastball just missed. Good take there by Obley as the count evens 2-2. Jensen on deck, then Delger in the hole after that. As Lake Mills tries to get it back around to the top of the order. 2-2 pitch, called strike 3. Mice fans the side. Obley thought it was below the knees, but it had the zone, and Mice punches out 3 in a row as we move now to the top half of the 3rd inning. No score here on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
More Sports Club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
An early pitcher duel shaping up so far here in Lake Mills. No score between the Lake Mills Bulldogs and the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears as we head to the top of the 3rd. Bishop Garrigan is 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order, and the Golden Bears still looking for that first base runner against Kane Cook. Right-handed hitting second baseman Caden Graves at the plate, as that one is downstairs for a ball to Graves, 1-0 count. Right-handed hitting junior for Bishop Garrigan, slightly choked up on the bat as he hits about 2/3 of the way up in that right-handed box. Wind blowing across the field left to right as Cook offers up the 1-0. And Graves check swing, but that one is in there for a called strike on the fastball, and it's 1-1. Bishop Garrigan has yet to solve the Kane Cook fastball. He's really only thrown a couple of off-speed offerings so far tonight. You just got to get in there geared up and ready to go, attacking the fastball and reacting to anything else. As Cook will miss on that offering, count goes to 2-1. Well, smoky night here, some wildfire smoke in the air, and a lot of smoke coming from the concession stand as well. Hopefully it didn't burn anything over there, but judging by the amount of people congregated out there in center field around the concession stand, I'd say they've got some good stuff cooking. Wind in the 2-1 pitch. Graves laid on the high offering, chased one that was probably up and out of the zone as the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Graves, Moeller, and Colash this inning for Bishop Garrigan. Cook with 4 strikeouts already for the first 6 batters. The motion and the 2-2 pitch. Way upstairs for a ball. Graves not tempted. And for the first time today, Kane Cook has gone full on one of the Bishop Garrigan hitters. This Golden Bear lineup hit .310 as a team last season, although the strikeouts were up, which is the bad news, as Cook settles back onto the mound, works from the center of the rubber, and fires the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Cook has struck out 3 batters in a row, and he has K'd 5 Golden Bears already. Bishop Garrigan 7 up, 7 down offensively so far, as Drew Moeller steps into the box. Moeller, left-handed hitting right fielder, one of the other new starters for the Golden Bears, as he'll hit near the back of that left-handed box, holds the hand low and rests that bat on the back shoulder. Cook from the center of the pitching rubber brings the first offering to Moeller, and he takes that one for a called strike just above the knees. Moeller will step out and then climb back into the box for Bishop Garrigan. Outfield not shifting a whole lot for any of the Golden Bear batters. They're playing relatively straight up, left or right. That one in off the plate to Moeller, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Like I said, I'd say most of the crowd right now is out in center field, hovering around the concession stand. They have a stand next to the concession stand as well. They're selling boba tea out there. And if you can tell me what that is without Googling it, you know a little more than I do. 1-1 pitch to Moeller, and just missed. Helgeson held that one for an extra second trying to frame it, but the home plate umpire says, I don't think so. And the count 2-1 on the Bishop Garrigan senior. No score. Top half of 3 here on 92.7 KLGA. Cook, 2-1 pitch. And Mueller, good take there. And Helgeson held that one an extra second, even longer than the last one. A long frame right there as he feels the strike zone has compressed here to Mueller. 3-1 count. And Mueller is going to sit on the fastball here and look for something belt high right down the middle. The wind, the free run to Mueller. And at the letters, that is a called strike, as now it's Mueller's turn to be upset. He was ready to discard that bat towards the first base dugout as he took a step that way, and he'll have to step back into the 3-2 count. So both Helgeson, the catcher, and Mueller, the batter, have had gripes from the pitch calling from the umpire in this at bat. Full count in any situation. The wind and the 3-2 here from Cook. Swing and the miss for strike 3. Mueller chased after one that was probably a little bit high, might have been ball 4, but the high strike has been called here tonight, and Cook has fanned 4 Golden Bears in a row. And we've had Kolash, Bishop Garrigan's left fielder, now stepping in. Kolash appeared in 5 varsity games last year, was over 6 in the plate. This is a guy who has paid his dues on the baseball team for Bishop Garrigan. The wind on the first offering to Kolash. And that is a half swing at the first pitch that was head high as Kolash tried to hold up, but he definitely went around there as he's down on the count 0-1. Kolash is the guy who not starting here until his senior year, and that can be tough, but he stuck it out here on the Bishop Garrigan baseball diamond waiting for his senior year, and now he is into that starting lineup. 0-1 pitch, upstairs for a ball, 1-1 count. And you talk about paying your dues in any sport. You could even say that for track and field as well. Kolash maybe wasn't known as one of the stars of the Bishop Garrigan track and field team prior to this year, but he helped that 4x800 meter relay qualify for the state meet at Drake Stadium and place 14th from Class 1A with a time of 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Kolash, the lead stick on that relay, as it's a 2-1 count. Golden Bears also had the McGregor brothers on that relay and Andrew Lichter, part of that quartet. 2-1 here to Kolash. Golden Bears still looking for that first base runner as Cook has been perfect through the first 8 batters. 2-1 pitch. Inside, buzz the tower a little bit there on Kolash, and it's 3-1. If anything, the good news is the bottom of this Bishop Garrigan order has seen a few more pitches from Cook as he's fallen behind to a few of these Golden Bear hitters. Rogny at third base is off the line and playing in on the grass. Rest of the infield at normal depth. 3-1 to Kolash. In there for a called strike, and we go full once again. 3-2 count, 2 outs, nobody on base for Bishop Garrigan. No score in the top half of the third inning between Bishop Garrigan and Lake Mills as Cook has been masterful so far in this game. He has K'd 4 Golden Bears in a row. Kolash waving the bat above the back shoulder. Cook with a little bit longer of a hold. The payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Cook fans the side as he got him on the fastball. That is 5 Ks in a row by Kane Cook as he strikes out 7 of the first 9 Golden Bear batters. The pitching duel continues. No score heading to the bottom of 3 on Hometown Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Brady Galgan and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
9-1 and 2 in the Lake Mills batting order this inning against Dan Mice, who struck out the side in the second. And we stay scoreless here as Bishop Garrigan takes on Lake Mills. It's Jeremiah Jensen, Nash Delger, and Stephen Brandenburg this inning for the Bulldogs of Lake Mills. First pitch to Jensen, and that is ball 1 for Mice. Mice did struggle with a couple of walks in the first inning, but buckled down in inning number 2 and struck out the side for Lake Mills. So far, it's 7 Ks by Cook through 3 innings for Lake Mills, 3 Ks by Mice through 2 innings for Bishop Garrigan as Jensen takes down and away for a ball, and it is a 2-0 count on the number 9 hitter for the Lake Mills Bulldogs. Bishop Garrigan playing Jensen even a little bit towards right center. The center fielder Lear is shaded a couple steps into the right center field gap. Jensen last year 8 for 47 at the dish, and that pitch from Mice is out of the zone and a 3-0 count. As we mentioned, Lake Mills is a smaller outfield, just 322 to center and 287 to right. Down the left field line, it is 309. As the 3-0 pitch by Mice, that one finds the inside corner for a strike, and it's 3-1. You'd think this would be a pretty homer-happy park, although Lake Mills did not hit any home runs last year. Like we said, though, they are a running team. They will get on the bases, and they will steal aggressively as Jensen takes another fastball down the plate, and it is a 3-2 count as Mice tries to battle back in here. I mentioned early in the game the key on both sides controlling the run game. As the 3-2 pitch, called strike free. 4 Ks in a row by Mice as he worked his way back into the count from 3-0, and that is out number 1 of the inning as Jensen is fanned to start things off. It'll be Nash Delger, who has the only hit of the ball game so far, a little dribbler towards second base that was knocked down by Graves, but now Delger would reach first base safely, but be picked off back in the first. Pitch to Delger. Right-handed batter takes down and away for a ball, 1-0 count. But I mentioned controlling the running game a key, but you don't have to worry about that if nobody's on base. And with the way these pitchers are working, we may not see a lot of base runners. Mice underneath that breaking ball, and he kept it up above the zone at 2-0 count. Kolash in on the grass at third base and off the line a little bit in case Delger tries to bunt his way on with a hit. Pitch to Delger, fastball called strike as he was taking that one all the way, 2-1 count. Delger was a Bishop Garrigan killer on the basketball court the past few seasons. A scrappy guard who also had some good scoring numbers against the Golden Bears and trying to do the same thing here in the baseball diamond. 3-1 count right now. Golden Bears have won their last 8 against Lake Mills dating back to 2020, but find themselves on a scoreless battle here in the third. 3-1 pitch. That one skips in the dirt for ball 4, and the last guy you wanted to walk is aboard first base. Walk number 3 of the night by Mice. And we'll see if we have another little pitcher versus Delger battle. Delger will take a big lead at first base, and I would have no doubt that Mice will try to pick him off at some point. And I have no doubt that if he does not pick him off, that Delger may try to steal and challenge the arm of Tate Furch at some point as well. Furch threw out 13 potential base stealers last year. He allows 35 steals last year as well, but I hesitate to use the word allows because the controlling of the run game is a tandem effort between the pitcher and the catcher. Sometimes you steal it off the pitcher, sometimes you steal it off the catcher, so that is a combo effort. Pick off to first base again, almost thrown away as that one was thrown wide in towards the home plate side of first base. Schwab lunging off the bag to keep that one in front of him, as Delger does have a healthy lead over at first base, but ready to dive back in if Mice tries to pick him again. Kolash in on the grass at Deitring, that is, in on the grass at third base for Bishop Garrigan. Kolash out in left field. The look towards first base by Mice. The delivery, Delger running. It's a good pitch to throw on. Furch had to double clutch, throw it on one hop, and Graves can't field it cleanly. Boy, in spite of all that, Furch nearly threw him out at second base. It was a good high pitch to throw on, but Furch had the double clutch getting that out of the glove, and he threw it in on one hop. But I do think if Graves picks that one, he still gets Delger. That must not have been a great jump. In any case, though, Delger swipes the bag. As Schwab now in on the grass at first base. Deitring even with the bag at third. Runner in scoring position for Lake Mills. Graves will hold the runner at second base. The pitch to Brandenburg. He tries to bunt, but he fouls it off behind home plate. And it's an 0-1 count on Brandenburg, who also showed bunt earlier in this ball game. Mice last year pitching a lot of Garrigan's tough games against the 4 cities of the world. Pitched against Lake Mills last year. Some of those tough non-conference games as well. And he's part of the reason why Bishop Garrigan's ERA dropped from 2023 to 2024. In 2023, it was a 3.32 team ERA. Last year, a 2.38 team ERA. Nearly a 1-run improvement by Bishop Garrigan on the pitcher's mound. As there's a fly ball left field side, foul territory and out of play. And it'll be an 0-2 count on Brandenburg. Tough spot to be here in against Mice. But the Golden Bears had a cornucopia of pitching options last year. You had Drew Lappy, who's now an assistant coach. Justin Bauer as well, another big pitcher who graduated. Mice looks towards second and fires the 0-2. Off inside corner as Brandenburg goes stumbling backwards. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the number 2 hitting shortstop. Cook on deck, Helgeson in the hole. Schwab now even with the bag at first base, as is Deitring at third. Pitch to Brandenburg, and that one all the way to the backstop. Up to third base goes Delger. That was an athletic play by Brandenburg. That pitch was in at his ankles, and he jumped over the ball. I have no idea how that didn't hit him, especially with the heat coming from Mice's right arm. In any case, though, Lake Mills runner at third, and 2 opportunities to try to drive him in. Brandenburg working back into the count now, 2-2 against Mice. Mice from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Up high for a ball. Even if a high pitch, though, tonight, you have to think about that a little bit because the high pitch has been called. That one maybe a little bit off the plate as well. Brandenburg digs back into the left-handed box. Mice holds, hands at the belt. 3-2 pitch. That one hit through the third base side fouls. That nearly took out the base runner, Delger. That's why you lead off in foul territory, though. If you get hit by that ball, it is not an automatic out. Whereas if it hits you in fair territory, you are out. 3-2 count. Pitch by Mice. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He fans Brandenburg for a big second out of the inning, and the runner stays put at third base. Kane Cook without a bat. He walked his first time up. That is K number 4 of the game for Mice, who was trying to match Cook pitch for pitch. A little more traffic on the base paths for Mice, but so far he's worked around it as he misses down and away to Cook for ball 1. Helgeson on deck for Lake Mills. Mice looking fresh, though, early in the season, making his first start of the season for Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears got a 14-strikeout gem by Tate Furch against Belmont Clemmy. Roller towards shortstop, and it's bobbled by Garrigan. Throw to first base, not in time. 1-0 Lake Mills. An unearned run here for the Bulldogs. Breaks the seal on this game. As Cook rolled that one towards shortstop, it was a slow roller, so Mice knew that Garrigan, I should say, knew that he had to hurry, but bobbled the ball, and Delger comes around to score as Lake Mills grabs the early 1-0 lead. And you hate to overreact to 1 run early in the ball game, but that feels important for the way that Cook has been throwing so far for Lake Mills. Newt Rogney will be the courtesy runner at first base for Cook. And it's 1-0 Lake Mills here as Hayden Helgeson, who's off to the best start of the season of any of the Lake Mills hitters. He is up to the plate right now. Clean-up hitting catcher, hits out of a wide right-handed stance, swings at the first pitch and dribbles it foul third base side. And it'll be an 0-1 count here on Helgeson. So Mice will try to refocus here and just keep it at 1 run. Helgeson batted .263 last year with 10 runs knocked in. Off to the hot start this year for Lake Mills. Mice hands at the belt. Moderate lead at first base for Rogney as there is a called strike. And the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on the cleanup hitting Helgeson. Lake Mills last year when they played Bishop Garrigan, they had a season-long 6-game win streak before the Golden Bears snapped that as there's a roller to third base. Deitring has a clean lead. The throw to first base is perfect, and that is out number 3 of the inning. But Lake Mills does scratch across 1 run. The Lake Mills Bulldogs take a 1-run lead over the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears 1-0 on KLGA 92.7 and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona Tree Service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Tate Furch, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
1-0 Lake Mills as we move to the top of the 4th inning on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. It'll be 1, 2, and 3 in the Bishop Garrigan batting order. Tate Furch, Dan Mice, and Carter Schwab. And the Golden Bears will certainly hope to have more success than they did the first time through the order. 0 for 9 with 7 strikeouts so far against Kane Cook, who has looked locked in so far in this game. I will say he did throw a few more pitches to the bottom third of that Garrigan batting order. Fell behind a couple of times last inning, but it didn't matter. He struck out the side as right now Cook is working on a streak of striking out 5 Golden Bear batters in a row. And that's been one thing to note for Bishop Garrigan. We talked about their ERA improvement from 2023 to 2024, but it's kind of gone the other way hitting-wise. Now, they certainly were still a very good hitting team last year, but maybe not quite as elite as they were in 2023. They went from a 379 batting average in 2023 to 310 last year. Again, both very good, but the driving factor in that one, the strikeouts jumped big time last year. Coach Meister talked about it in the preseason. They struck out too many times for a team that won 24 games. As the wind of the pitch by Cook, fastball called strike, 0-1 count. Golden Bears in 2023, they struck out 151 times. Last year, that jumped up to 224 strikeouts. You'd certainly like to see that get back below the 200 mark at least for Bishop Garrigan this year, if not even better. But Cook is driving up that strikeout total tonight as Furch will take that one for a called strike, 0-2. I was starting to make the point that Furch was on the mound one of those 2 doubleheader games against Belmont Clemmy, pitched 6 no-hit innings. He struck out 14 batters, but had to leave due to the pitch count limit. 0-2 pitch. Furch fouls that one back as Cook tried to climb the ladder that time with the fastball, and Furch just able to spoil that one off to keep the count 0-2 strikes. Furch hits up at the front of the box out of a wide right-handed stance. Wears the arm sleeve on that right arm. Cook locks in and offers up the 0-2, and Furch once again fouls that back a little bit tardy. Oh boy, look out. Pickup truck pulling out of the driveway here. There was a pickup truck pulling out of the field here into the street, and that foul ball by Furch maybe missed that one by a couple of inches. That was nearly a hefty repair bill for a resident here of Lake Mills. Wind in the 0-2 pitch to Furch. Ooh, he went breaking ball that time, but it was down and away in the dirt, and Furch not fooled by that. 1-2 strikes. It has been a heavy fastball offering so far by Cook, but with Furch, you bring out all tools because you know that this is one of the most dangerous hitters in the Garrigan lineup. Certainly, it's not traditional to have your catcher be the leadoff batter, but Furch can fit the bill. Solid speed and good contact ability to go for a little power, but he swings and misses for strike 3. Just masterful on the mound for Kane Cook. He wins the battle with Furch, and that is 6 consecutive Golden Bear batters set down via the strikeout, and Cook still perfect. The batter now will be Dan Mice, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout of his own. The only batter tonight who has not struck out at least once for the Golden Bears is Brady Garrigan, who grounded out the shortstop his only time up. Mice hits out of an upright right-handed stance. The wind and the pitch by Cook. Burns that one in there on the fastball for a called strike, 0-1. As always, we appreciate everyone tuning in here on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. We know it's a Friday night. There's a lot to do and even a lot of entertainment options if you want to stay in and stay at home as the 0-1 pitch. Fastball called strike to Mice, 0-2 count. Of course, our game is competing against the likes of Netflix and Hulu and YouTube and anything else that you can do on a Friday night to pass some time. Cook will wipe off his hand and get back aboard the pitching rubber. And Mice will step out of the batter's box here for an 0-2 count. Or you could do it the old-fashioned way and go see a movie in the actual movie theater. Of course, you've got a great movie theater back in Algona, but there was a recent movie, Clown in a Cornfield. Believe it or not, that is a real movie title. Wind and the 0-2 pitch. Up and away for a ball, 1-2 count. And I was shocked, folks. When I bought a ticket to that movie, I could have sworn that the movie Clown in a Cornfield was a biographical movie about our beloved color commentator, Beanie Bodie, but I was sadly mistaken. Cook back aboard the pitching rubber. The wind and the 1-2 pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-2 count. Of course, I'm just kidding, folks. We all love Beanie, but when you're as old as Beanie is, you learn how to take a joke. 1-0 Lake Mills here in the top half of the 4th inning. Bishop Garrigan still looking for their first base runner. Cook winds it up. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Boy, this is getting unbelievable at this point. I mean, what else can you say about Cook? He has struck out 7 batters in a row, and he is still perfect here with 2 outs in the top half of the 4th inning. Carter Schwab will try to get something going for Bishop Garrigan. 2 outs and nobody on base. Schwab, the left-handed hitting first baseman, stands into the box. A strikeout victim as well as first time up, but who wasn't for Bishop Garrigan? Cook is in a special zone tonight. The pitch to Schwab, and that one is down and maybe a little bit away for a ball, 1-0 count. Carter Schwab last year, a tough guy to strike out. He only K'd 10 times, and he walked a team-leading 25 times. His on-base percentage, .562. The motion and the pitch to Schwab. There's a fastball at the belt, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Golden Bears just have not had a lot of juice offensively tonight. They've been late or underneath most of the fastball offerings in their swings against Cook, and they've taken a decent amount of strikes as well. But all it takes is one swing. Again, it's a small field here, especially out to left, or especially out to right, I should say, for the left-handed hitter Schwab. 287 down that right field line has to be tempting for Carter Schwab. 1-1 pitch. Upstairs for a ball, 2-1. But the question is, of how hard Cook is throwing, could a left-handed hitter pull a ball to that part of the field? It's going to be tough to get around that fast on the Cook fastball, but you just really have to gear up. 2 outs, nobody on base. A 2-1 count on Carter Schwab, the number 3 batter in the order for Bishop Garrigan. As he fouls that one back to the screen, even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Golden Bears are in danger here of going down to another strikeout as Cook has K'd 7 Golden Bear batters in a row. Overall, 9 strikeouts on the night by Kane Cook. Schwab digs into his foothold in the left-handed box. Cook gets ready to go from the umpire. Doesn't like the first sign. Does like the second from Helgeson. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Helgeson must have been calling for a breaking ball that time, and Cook says, I'm leaning on my heater. Outfield pretty straight up for Schwab. A little bit of a gap towards right center field if he can find a way to shoot one up the alley. The Lake Mills right-hander, Kane Cook, he's been masterful. The payoff pitch. Outside ball 4. Bishop Garrigan has their first base runner of the night, and the perfect game is no longer intact as Carter Schwab gets a hard-earned walk. That was not an easy take either. That was outside by maybe a couple of inches, but a tempting pitch of 2 strikes. And for the first time tonight, Kane Cook must pitch from the stretch. The streak of 7 straight Ks is now over as well. Brady Galligan, the only Golden Bear not to strike out tonight, is up. Schwab lead at first. There's a cut and the miss by Galligan, and the count is 0-1. Carter Schwab last year, 13 steals and 14 attempts. I mean, you have to at least think about running here for Bishop Garrigan. You've got to just manufacture a run tonight until Cook hits his pitch count limit, which is probably a ways away because he's been efficient tonight. High kick in the pitch. Galligan trying to get after that fastball, but fouled it straight back to the screen. Timed that one a little bit better, but just underneath it on the elevated pitch, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Lake Mills last year had a lot of trouble controlling the run game. They allowed it 90 steals and only caught 1 runner, although Helgeson is a different starting catcher than Lake Mills had last season, and Helgeson already did throw out a base runner earlier this year. Schwab is running on the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. A beautiful breaking ball that time by Kane Cook. He has 10 punch-outs, and the Golden Bears are done in the 4th. It's Lake Mills 1, Bishop Garrigan nothing on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine Sports Club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Back here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. If you listeners are wondering what the least desirable job in the world is, it's being a batter against Dan Mice and Kane Cook. A pitcher's duel tonight unfolding as that is a called strike to Jackson Gall, 0-1 count. Lake Mills 1, Bishop Garrigan nothing. Kane Cook with a no-hitter so far as he has struck out 10 batters through 4 innings. Mice only allowing 1 run so far on 1 hit as that ball is hit hard deep into the right center field gap. Racing over there is Lear, and he covers ground and makes the catch. Nick Lear just eating up outfield grass with that big stride, and he pulls down that ball for out number 1 of this inning. That's really the first hard hit ball by either side. The base hit tonight by Lake Mills was an infield dribbler, and the run was brought in on an E6. The unearned run on Mice's ledger. I think the outfielders were getting a little bored out there. I saw people picking at the grass and zoning out with Mice on the mound, but they were ready to go on that ball as the first pitch is ball one here to Leaf Rogney, who was a strikeout victim his first time up. On one hand, Mice makes it very easy on the defense of how fast he works as he misses. Oh, check that. That did catch the zone for a called strike, inside corner, 1-1 count. He makes it easy on the defense of how fast he works, but with how many strikeouts he has, it's really not a ton of action for the defense either. The 1-1 pitch, you're always ready to go because of how quickly he works, but the strikeout totals mean there aren't a lot of balls in play. 2-1 count. Mice, one of 3 returners in Class 1A to reach the 100 strikeout threshold last season. Outfield playing Rogney towards the opposite field here as Mice not in the zone on that pitch. 3-1 count to the left-handed hitting third baseman. Steeny on deck, Obley in the hole. Mice did fan hitters number 6 through 9 first time through the batting order as he will step off the rubber here and recollect himself before the 3-1 pitch. Lake Mills dugout enjoying the disruption in Mice's momentum. The Bishop Garrigan senior back on the pitching rubber, hands at the belt. The 3-1 delivery, and he finds the zone for a called strike, 3-2. Mice has fallen behind some hitters tonight, but he's done a good job for the most part of working back into these battles, although he has walked 3 batters. 3-2 pitch, popped up in the air, towards the middle of the infield. Mice off the mound, screaming for the ball. He bobbles, and he brings that ball to his chest. He held on. Mice made that catch. Wow, did that get interesting. A mile-high pop-up. Mice located coming off the mound to the third base side. He initially caught it, then he dropped it into his chest, but he pinned the ball on his chest on that script Garrigan as he was going to the ground, and he did not let that ball come out of the pin. Out number 2 in a very interesting fashion as the Golden Bears narrowly avoid their second error of the ball game. So 2 up, 2 down on 2 balls in play for Lake Mills as there is a half swing and a miss. Steeny got caught in between that time, and that is strike 1. Tried to handcuff him there with the fastball. It's not uncommon to see Mice throwing in the mid-upper 80s as Dietrich plays off the line on the third base side. In there for a called strike, 0-2. We've seen Dietrich off that third base line, and he's basically saying the right-handed hitters will not get around on that fastball and pull it down the line. They won't be able to swing that quickly as there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Steeny. K number 7 for Mice, and Lake Mills goes down very quietly here in the 4th. 1-2-3 inning as Bishop Garrigan bats next. Lake Mills 1, Golden Bears nothing on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Dan Mice. You're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears trying to find something against Kane Cook, who takes a no-hitter into the 5th inning. Cook no hits allowed. He did walk 1 batter, and he struck out 10 so far. Maybe the Golden Bears need to try to invoke Joe Boo here to get the lumber going, or the aluminum in this case. Right-handed batter Nick Lear, center fielder, a strikeout victim his first time up, 0-for-1, as the pitch is a fastball missing outside, 1-0 count. It's been so impressive from Cook. It's really not a super diverse offering tonight. We've probably seen him throw maybe 5, 6, 7 off-speed pitches, something like that, but it has been fastball after fastball. He's just locating it so well with the good velocity, and the Golden Bears have not been able to do much against it. 1-0 pitch. There's a cut and a miss by Lear. That one may have been a changeup right there. Looked like Cook took a little off that one. In any case, it's a 1-1 count on the senior center fielder for the Golden Bears. Dietrich and Graves to follow in the batting order as Lake Mills continues to lead 1-0 in the top half of the 5th inning. The motion and the pitch to Lear. Caught the low outside corner for a strike, and it's a 1-2 count. Lear not convinced. It has been a pitcher-friendly zone tonight, and also a pitcher-friendly wind blowing in from right center field. But a perfect night for baseball. You would sign up for this night every night throughout the high school season if you could. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. 11 Ks by Cook. Wow. He struck out 7 Golden Bear batters in a row at one point, and he has struck out 9 of the last 10, only interrupted by that 1 walk to Schwab, a full count walk. Aiden Deitring over 1 with a K, as he will bat with 1 out, nobody on base against Cook, who continues the no-hitter with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. The right-hander hitting Deitring watches a fastball at the belt for a called strike, and he's behind in the count 0-1. It's not for lack of energy on the Garrigan side. Everyone up in the dugout, up on the fence, chattering and trying to get Deitring going at the plate. But Cook just has this look in his eyes of steely focus, locked in. His focus has really never wavered or broken at this point in the game, as there's a wave and a miss by Deitring. Went fishing for one that was maybe a little bit low in the count 0-2. And he's on the same page with his catcher Helgeson as well. I only recall seeing Cook shake him off once so far in this ball game. Nods at the current sign, has an 0-2 count right now on Deitring, and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night again from Kane Cook. A 3-pitch strikeout, and that is 12 Ks so far tonight for the Lake Mills senior. What a weapon to have, and what an ace. And every conference contending team needs to have that. Of course, Bishop Garrigan, their ace Dan Mice pitching in a game like tonight. And this is the thing if you're the Golden Bears. If you're a defending conference champion like the Golden Bears are, when you're playing a team that is another conference title contender like Lake Mills, you are going to see the ace in all likelihood. When you face the Four Cities or the North Unions or the Lake Mills of the world, you are most likely going to have to go up against their best pitcher. And the best pitcher for Lake Mills, Kane Cook, is certainly in the conversation for best pitcher in the conference. Mice on the other side also in the conversation for that as well. Caden Graves bats with 2 outs and nobody on base, and he is drilled on that front shoulder. And even though that hurts with the fastball, I think Graves will be fine with that, as Bishop Garrigan does get a base runner here in the 5th. The no-hitter, of course, stays intact, but it'll be runner at first base with 2 outs, and Drew Moeller over 1 with a K, left-handed hitting outfielder into the box. Lights are now on here at Lake Mills. We do have that wildfire haze in the air as Graves leads off at first base. Pitch to Moeller, and there's a swing and a miss. Moeller flat-footed on that one as the count, no balls and 1 strike. Lake Mills scratched their lone run of the game across in the 3rd inning on a play the Golden Bears may live to regret. 2 outs and a runner at third base. An infield dribbler to shortstop was bobbled for an error, and it allowed an unearned run to score for 2 outs. Graves faked like he was running at first base, but slammed on the brakes as Moeller takes that pitch for a ball, and it's a 1-1 count. And that's not to highlight the error, overemphasize the error, because there was also a wild pitch in that inning that would advance the runner. 1-1 count, pick off to first, and back in there for a dive will go Graves. Moeller back into the box. Runner at first is Graves. We'll see if he can get a big enough lead here to draw another throw, and maybe a throwaway as the pitch is a swing and a miss for a strike. 1-2 count. So at this point, like I said, if you're the Golden Bears, you just got to try to manufacture something. The idea of stringing together 2 or 3 hits in a row against Cook doesn't seem great with the way things have gone so far, so you're hoping that maybe he throws the ball away to first base, you can steal or just manufacture a run somehow until you can get his pitch count up enough to get him out of the game. 1-2 count to Moeller. Graves takes a big secondary lead, and Moeller takes for a ball as the count evens 2-2. But that is the problem. There have not been a lot of deep counts here tonight against Cook. Just 1 walk and 1 hit batsman by Cook so far tonight, as the Lake Mills senior will take a deep breath to compose himself. Still 1-0 Lake Mills. Runner at first base is Graves. Moderate lead over there, as Cook will give him a brief glimpse. The Lake Mills righty, high kick in the pitch. Graves is running, and the ball is mishandled behind home plate, and Graves will cruise into second base. The ball popped in and out of the glove of Helgeson, who tried to pop up quickly to throw it. And there you go. Now if you're the Golden Bears, you're just 1 swing away. Little bloop, little ground ball through the infield. A shot to the gap, anything. The Golden Bears would take it here and try to tie this one up. But 2-strike hitting against Cook has not been the forte tonight for the Golden Bears, as Cook settles in. Hands letter high. High kick in the pitch. Called strike 3 to Moeller. Cook works around that 2-out base runner, and he sets down the Golden Bears once again. Still Lake Mills 1, Bishop Garrigan nothing, as we move now to the bottom half of inning number 5 on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Brady Galligan, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
And we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning as Lake Mills leads Bishop Garrigan 1-0. The batters this inning, Corbin Obley, Jerry Jensen, and Nash Delger for Lake Mills. Lake Mills 1 run in the 3rd inning as Dan Mice back to work, and he will find the zone, quickly working ahead. 0-2 in the count to Obley, who was a strikeout victim his first time up. So far today, 13 Ks by Kane Cook. Mice not quite as many Ks, he has 6, but he has kept Bishop Garrigan in this ball game, allowing a single unearned run. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes here as the pitch was down low to Obley. The right-handed hitting first baseman back in. Mice works quickly, swing and a miss. Ball gets away though. Furch is going to have to hustle. Picks it to the backstop, guns it to first base, and a great throw and an out at first. They complete the strikeout as Schwab held the bag. What a great play by Furch. He hustled back to the backstop and picked that ball up cleanly with his bare hand, but he threw that one into foul territory where Schwab had a chance to evade the base runner and keep his foot on the bag. It was obviously not good that the ball got to the backstop in the first place, I guess, but it was well done once it did to still get the strikeout and get a big out number 1 of the inning. At this point in the ballgame, you don't want to give Lake Mills any free base runners and force Mice to go to the stretch as Jensen bats. Jensen cutting the miss, couldn't catch up to that high fastball, and he's behind in the count. No balls and 1 strike. This crowd has stuck around all throughout this game. Of course, a rapidly moving game in the pitcher's duel. 0-1 pitch, called strike, 0-2 count. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning, and this has only taken about an hour 15 to get to this point so far. Mice 0-2, wave and a miss for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night again from Mice. Not a free pitch K. Both these pitchers piling up a handful of 3-pitch strikeouts, and it is a quick 2-up, 2 down to start the inning. Back into the box goes Delger as he's probably been the most successful hitter on either side tonight. Singled in the first inning on an infield base hit, and then walked his second time up. Eventually stole a base and ended up coming around to score. The wind and the pitch by Mice. And that one misses to Delger for a ball, 1-0 count. You don't have a huge strike zone to aim for here with Delger, so you have to be somewhat fine with Mice. Delger walked 26 times last season compared to 20 Ks as he walked earlier tonight, and he will take that one in there for a called strike. Even count, 1-1 for Mice. Mice has really settled in here as he has retired the last 6 Lake Mills batters. The windup in the 1-1 pitch. Off the plate for a ball, 2-1 count. Brandenburg on deck, Cook in the hole for Lake Mills if it gets that far. 2 outs and nobody on base. 1-run lead for Lake Mills in the bottom of 5. Mice into the motion and the 2-1 pitch. And a patient eye by Delger takes that one outside, and it goes to a 3-1 count. Dietrich in on the grass at third base, and like I said earlier in the game, Delger is the last guy in this Lake Mills team that you want to put on with a free pass. The wind and the 3-1 pitch. Delger looked like he was taking that one all the way as that one is in there for a strike, 3-2 count. There was no load of the bat right there. That was a man sitting still in the batter's box and forcing Mice to come into the zone. Delger steps out, then back in. Mice awaits the ready to go from the home plate ump. The payoff pitch with 2 outs. Down and away for ball 4. Boy, Delger with another pesky at bat here against the Golden Bears. like I mentioned earlier, that was his MO on the basketball court, and here on the baseball diamond as well. He has been a tough out for Mice to get. So now you have to pay attention and try to make sure he doesn't cause too much chaos in the base paths. Throw to first base, and he almost got Delger on his leadoff phase there. Delger was still taking his lead and deciding how far away from first base he would get when Mice snapped a quick throw over there, but Delger did get back of a dive. He's out there to a good-sized lead at first base right now as the lefty Brandenburg digs in. Delger moving on the first pitch. Furch throws down to second base. It's a good throw. They tag Delger, and they got him at second base. You cannot run on Tate Furch, ladies and gentlemen. That is a huge no-no, and Delger caught stealing at second. He was not caught a single time in 33 attempts last year, and Lake Mills caught stealing for the first time this season as well. What a throw by Furch, inning over. Top half of 6 coming up next. 6 outs for Bishop Garrigan to work with on 92.7 KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kossuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
As the great Yogi Berra once said, it gets late early out here, and it is starting to get late for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. 9-1 and 2 in the batting order in the top half of the 6th inning. Lake Mills on top of Bishop Garrigan 1-0 in this important early season conference game. Thad Kolash takes ball 1 up at eye level from Kane Cook. Cook has been locked in today with a no-hitter so far through 5 innings. Cook has struck out 13 batters. He has walked 1, and he has hit 1 with a pitch. The Golden Bears only have 2 balls in play tonight, and neither left the infield. Cook rocks and delivers the 1-0 pitch. And there is a half swing by Kolash. Tried to hold back, but he went after it, and that might have been a strike anyways. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Kolash, Furch, and Mice this inning for Bishop Garrigan. It does appear that Kolash has moved a little bit further back in the batter's box since his first at-bat. That pitch is upstairs to Kolash and it's a 2-1 count. Coaches will say, hey, give the pitcher a step. And that means you're not going to hit up at the front of the box. The pitcher of good velocity, you're going to take maybe a step back towards that back line. And again, it buys you maybe a millisecond, but that may be all the difference in the world for some hitters. 2-1 count. The motion and the pitch by Cook. And Kolash with a hefty cut there, but comes up empty as the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That back foot went skidding out over the home plate with the force of that swing. And Kolash will try to battle here with a 2-2 count. Cook licks his lips, motions and brings the 2-2 pitch. Kolash pops that one foul behind home plate, and will do it again at a 2-2 count. Well, you at least like to see some contact there against Cook with 2 strikes. As simple as that sounds, as Furch looms in the on-deck circle. Furch over 2 so far tonight, but you'd like to see him hit with someone on base. Back aboard the rubber goes Cook. Garrigan dugout getting into it on the first base side. 2-2 to Kolash. Brushed him off the plate, count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Could be a pivotal at-bat here as Kolash tries to battle back from behind in the count. The Bishop Garrigan senior back into that right-handed box as Helgeson gives the signs behind home plate. Cook onto the rubber. The payoff pitch to Kolash. Fouled it back again. Thad Kolash is having a battle right now, and this is exactly what you ask for. You want competitive at-bats from the bottom of that batting order. At least give Cook something to think about here, especially with Furch, Mice, and Schwab looming coming up for Bishop Garrigan. Next pitch will be pitch number 7 of this at-bat against Kolash. Cook winds it up. The payoff again. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Oh, he changed speeds on him that time, and Cook wins a hard-fought battle against Fad Kolash. That is K number 14 of the night by Kane Cook, and now it's back to the top of the order of Tate Furch. A pop out to foul territory on the first base side his first time up, and a strikeout his second time around as Furch 0 for 2 on the ball game. Well, they say the odds of success as a hitter increase each time for the batting order. We'll see if that's the case for the Golden Bears. Cook rocks and delivers, and Furch, first pitch swinging and he misses. And Cook mixing the speeds again right there as the count goes 0-1. Furch will look down towards third base and resettle himself into that right-handed box. Hitting about halfway up on that box. Wearing jersey number 7 for the Golden Bears as Cook works quickly and brings the 0-1. Foul back again. Another pitch with a little motion on it as Furch looking bewildered in the box. Thought he had a pitch that had a little bit of the plate that time, but fouled it off, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Cook working ahead of Furch. The 0-2 pitch. He came back with a fastball that time. Went a little bit slower the first 2 pitches and brought a little heat on that one, but missed well up high, and Furch not tempted as the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lake Mills trying to beat Bishop Garrigan tonight for the first time in 8 tries, the first time since June of 2020. The windup, the 1-2 to Furch. Fouled back. Another fastball that time, but Furch put it back into the screen and will do it again if a 1-2 count. Could we be seeing some subtle signs that Bishop Garrigan is slowly trying to time Cook up? Again, it's a small thing, but we're at least seeing a few 2-strike foul balls here of Kolash, the last batter, and Furch, the current batter. 1 out, nobody on base. 5 outs to work with for Bishop Garrigan. 1-2 to Furch. Up and in. Leaned back a little bit, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. The no-hitter still intact for Kane Cook. The 1 run in the 3rd inning so far, all Lake Mills is needed in his pitcher's duel between Dan Mice and Kane Cook. A couple of top of Iowa West seniors going at it here. Cook back top the rubber as Furch will call time and step out to think things over. It's always an intellectual battle when you have a really good hitting catcher going up against a really good pitcher. Furch is probably thinking, what would I call in this situation if I was the catcher? What would I be bringing if I were the pitcher here? The motion, the 2-2 pitch to Furch. Fastball up and in. Cook is having a little trouble spotting that pitch now, and the count goes full to Furch. Back-to-back full counts here to the first 2 Bishop Garrigan batters. Kolash was eventually retired on a strikeout, as Furch will try to get just the 3rd base runner of the ball game for Bishop Garrigan. Wind has calmed down here a little bit as the night's gone on. Cook winds it up, the payoff to Furch, and he flies that one in the air towards right center field, going out as the second baseman and making the grab at the edge of the grass is Gall, as Furch is retired on the pop fly. We will say that one stayed on the infield there as Bishop Garrigan, they at least put their 3rd ball in play of the night, but they still have not left the infield here in this ball game. 2 outs and nobody on base. Batter now will be Dan Mice. Nobody on as Mice struck out his first 2 times at the dish. And Cook maintaining the no-hitter with 4 outs to go here against the Golden Bears. The windup by Cook. Mice is going to try to bunt his way on. He popped to the bunt first base side. It drops and it skips into foul territory. That ball didn't have a ton of air on it, but it did have a lot of rightward spin as it skipped into foul territory, and the count is 0-1. Well, a lot of old school baseball people will tell you that breaks the unwritten rules of baseball, but KLGA broadcaster Tyler Lance will tell you if you don't like it, defend it. 0-1 count here is, we'll see if Mice tries to bunt his way on again. The windup, Mice not showing bunt, and the 0-1 pitch is a fastball that sails to the screen, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Due up for Lake Mills in their half of the inning will be Steven Brandenburg, Kane Cook, and Hayden Helgeson. The 2, 3, and 4 batters in the batting order is, remember last inning, Delger was thrown out trying to steal second base to end the inning. 1-1 pitch here to Mice. And that one called strike. Dan Mice behind in the count 1-2. Kane Cook, 14 Ks so far tonight, looking for number 15 here against the Bishop Garrigan starting pitcher. Carter Schwab looming in the on-deck circle. Cook working into a rhythm, holding the hands at his letters. The 1-2 delivery to Mice. And he missed downstairs about ankle level, and the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. At very least, if you're the Bishop Garrigan hitters, You try not to get yourself out against Cook. Good job by Mice taking a pitch like that and living to fight another pitch here. Cook locks in, fires the 2-2. Pulled it way outside, and the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Cook digs at the mound of that right cleat. Didn't have a good toe hold on that one, as he also wipes off the hand as well, trying to figure out why that pitch went outside. So all 3 batters for Bishop Garrigan will have worked a full count this inning, but we'll see if it ends up resulting in any base runners or not. Colash should strike out, and Furt should pop out the second base. Mice awaiting the payoff pitch from Cook. Downstairs for ball 4. Bishop Garrigan does get a base runner aboard as Mice wins a long, drawn-out battle against Cook. As we said, the no-hitter stays alive, but the Golden Bears do get their 3rd base runner of the ball game and at very least force Cook to work a little bit harder and throw a few more pitches. We'll see if Schwab can continue these long at-bats for the Golden Bears. Well, as I've suggested each time that Bishop Garrigan has gotten the runner aboard, we'll see if Mice can at least draw the attention of Cook and maybe even consider stealing. As again, you're only a base hit away if you can get that guy up to second base. Schwab does offer extra base power in that box, though, but tough against Cook. Pick off to first base, backing up dive is Mice. He had Mice leaning there just a little bit, but Cook did not throw that pick off with a whole lot of force. As Joel Cook, the Lake Mills coach, will head out to the mound here and bring the infield in for a conference and talk things over in this important situation. While they do that, we'll give a quick mention to thank you our video streaming sponsors here on the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Those sponsors include Chem the Auto Center and Experience You Deserve, Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit, Algona Frame and Auto Body, We Meet by Accident, Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed, and PMC Advantage Insurance Services. Having the advantage makes all the difference. A pivotal moment now in this ball game. There really hasn't been a need to go out to the mound at any point for any of the Lake Mills coaches here tonight up until this point because Cook has just been so dialed and focused. But now we'll see if the Golden Bears can disrupt that focus following the mound visit. Mice aboard first base via the walk. Just the 2nd walk tonight by Cook, who has also issued a hit by pitch. As Schwab bats, he was the recipient of one of the 2 walks earlier tonight in his most recent plate appearance. Also struck out back in the 1st. Pitch to Schwab. And that pitch will miss for a ball as Helgeson popped out of his stance ready to throw to first, but Mice scampered back. I will say if you're the catcher, you don't want to do that too often because you're not getting a chance to frame the pitch when you're popping up like that. But if you think you have a play on the guy at first, of course, you're going to take it. Or did they call that a strike? The scoreboard says it was a strike. Maybe it was. The pitch to Schwab, and he cuts and misses for a strike that time. So Lake Mills fans and dugout getting into it here, trying to will Cook through this inning. As Lake Mills Bulldogs hold on to a 1-run lead here in this top of Iowa West matchup. Golden Bears playing for the first time since Tuesday night, had a couple of off nights. Mice is taking off. Oh, he timed that perfectly. But Schwab swings and misses for strike 3. And Cook pumps his fist on the mound. He gets out of the inning and has K number 15 of the night. Boy, that was a great play by Mice. He had Cook timed perfectly and would have easily had second, but Cook is able to focus on the batter and extinguish Schwab for the 3rd out of the inning. Bishop Garrigan down to their final 3 outs, but first, Lake Mills will try to add some insurance, leading 1-0 on Hometown Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
A no-hitter so far through 6 innings by Kane Cook. As Dan Mice goes back to work for Bishop Garrigan, Cook has fanned 15 Golden Bears, as it'll be Steven Brandenburg leading off this inning, followed by Kane Cook and Hayden Helgeson for Lake Mills. Mice winds and fires the 0-1, and he finds his own to Brandenburg. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. 1 run on 1 hit for Lake Mills. Bishop Garrigan, no runs, no hits, 1 error so far in this ball game. The pitch to Brandenburg, and that is a foul tip, held onto by Furch for strike 3. Mice sticking right in this pitcher's duel. Gave up that 1 run back in the 3rd inning, an unearned run on his ledger, but we said that at that point that might have been an important play for the Golden Bears, and that play has looked more and more important as the game has gone on. Lake Mills manufacturing around that inning as Cook steps in trying to help out his own cause and add a little insurance. I can't stress the intensity of this game enough, folks. Not only is it a no-hitter, but it's a no-hitter in a 1-0 game between the Lake Mills Bulldogs, who are trying to climb the conference standings to the top, against the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, who have won the conference the past 2 seasons. A 2-0 count now to Cook. This could be a big early season statement. Whether Bishop Garrigan rallies to win this one against Cook and eventually finds a way to score, or if Cook slams the door shut later on. Mice goes off speed and misses for a ball. 3-0 count. Outfield playing towards right center, especially Lear over in that gap. Cook is going to take this 3-0 pitch as he squared to bunt, but that was going to be a take all the way. 3-1 count now as Mice is able to deliver in the zone. Helgeson next, Gall in the hole for Lake Mills. Mice with the 3-1. Huge cut and the miss by Cook. He was faking home run off a car window out beyond the left center field fence, but came up dry in that swing. Mice ready with the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He rallies back from a 3-0 count again, and Mice into double-digit punch-outs of 10 tonight. He fans Cook on that chin-high fastball, and it's nobody on base. 2 outs for Lake Mills. Hayden Helgeson 0 for 2. 2 balls in play tonight, which sounds rather marginal, but considering the way the pitching's gone tonight, that is actually an accomplishment in this one. A foul out to the catcher tonight for Helgeson, and a fly out to the right center field gap. If my stat keeping is correct here, I believe that fly out to right center is the only ball that has left the infield for either team tonight. We've seen some foul pop outs, a couple dribblers on the infield, and a lot of Ks. 2-0 pitch. That one grazed the zone for a called strike. 2-1 count. Helgeson thinking that was inside as he turned out of the way, but caught the black. Mice works quickly and brings the 2-1. And that one's a little bit down low. Furch tried to bring that one back and then did a little extra pause before throwing it back to the pitching mound. 3-1 count here to Helgeson, who may take just as big of a cut as Cook just did. 3-1 pitch, upstairs for ball 4. Helgeson will draw the free pass, and it'll be a 2-out base runner for Lake Mills. We'll see if Helgeson gets a courtesy runner here as the starting catcher. Mice did walk 2 guys back in the 1st inning. Has kept the control relatively good since then, although that does end up being his 5th walk of the night. And Lake Mills is going to call upon a courtesy runner right now. The runner at first base will now be Asher Reese, the freshman, as Reese will courtesy run for Helgeson, who's aboard for the first time tonight. And Mice, the Bishop Garrigan workhorse, trying to get through this 6th inning. Lake Mills had a base runner in the 5th, had a base runner and a run scoring in the 3rd, and a couple base runners stranded back in the 1st. So there have been a few runners scattered here against Mice, but like we said, just that 1 base hit. The leadoff batter of the game, Nash Delger, that infield dribbler, is the pick off the first base, not in time. Short lead there, but able to dive back safely is Reese. That infield dribbler on the first batter of the game, the only hit by either side in this ball game, and that was nearly a play that was made by Bishop Garrigan, so we are on the borderline of both pitchers throwing a no-hitter if it weren't for that leadoff single by Delger to start the game. Pitch to Gall in the dirt. Furch tried to backhand it and it gets away. Moving up to second base, 90 feet is Reese, the courtesy runner, and a big insurance run potentially looming out there for Lake Mills, and the current batter, Jackson Gall, who's over 2 with a ground at second base and a fly out to right center. It was actually Gall who flew out to right center. It was not Helgeson, who I previously stated, but Gall, who hit the only ball to the outfield so far in this game. Furch was unable to block the last one. He's good picking it behind home plate, but that's a play where you have to find a way to slide over and get your body in front to absorb that ball. As tough as it is against Mice's fastball to do that. 1-0 pitch. That was a nice cut that time by Gall as he found it back to the screen, that is, on the swing, and the count evens at 1-1. Well, to go up against Kane Cook in the top half of the 7th inning, Bishop Garrigan will have Galligan, Lear, and Deitring. As Cook, if you're just tuning in, Kane Cook for Lake Mills sitting on that no-hitter right now with 15 strikeouts. We could be witnessing something very special tonight. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off to the first base side. Nearly hit the light pole, but that will head out into the street well beyond this baseball and softball complex here at Lake Mills. And a 1-2 count for Mice. Runner on second base is Reese. The batter in the box is Gall. And Mice with the 1-2 count right now. He'll glimpse towards second base. Small kick in the 1-2 pitch. There's a roller. Mice dives. He can't knock it down. Fielded at third by Deitring. Guns it across. Bang, bang, play, and they got him. The strong throw by Deitring in time to retire Gall, and the inning is over. Well, will we see a no-hitter tonight, or will Bishop Garrigan find a way to rally? We will find out next. It's Lake Mills 1, Bishop Garrigan nothing on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Erpelding Void & Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Sports club members bringing you this game.
Well, folks, here we go. 3 outs separate Kane Cook from a no-hitter, as Bishop Garrigan has struck out 15 times tonight. They've had 3 base runners, but none of those via the hit. This inning, it'll be Brady Galligan, Nick Lear, and Aiden Deitring, as Bishop Garrigan trails Lake Mills 1-0. There has been no margin for error for Kane Cook, but he hasn't needed a margin of error. He has been electric so far tonight, as has Dan Mice on the other side for Bishop Garrigan. Galligan, first pitch, swing and a miss that time. Pulled the head out on a big cut, as he was thinking fastball there, but Cook took a little off that one. 0-1 count here on the Bishop Garrigan senior. The shortstop 0-for-2 of a ground out to short and a strikeout so far tonight. One of the 15 Ks by Cook. The 0-1 pitch. Down and away for a ball. Count even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bishop Garrigan tonight, they've had 1 runner out on the 4th, 1 on the 5th, and 1 on the 6th. All 3 stranded for the Golden Bears. Cook started the night by setting down the first 11 Golden Bears as he struck out 7 of the first 9 that first time through the order. There's a foul back to the screen by Galligan as the count right now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top half of the 7th inning here in Lake Mills, Iowa on a pitcher-perfect night. Temperatures now in the upper 60s as Cook working with a 1-2 count to Galligan. Here's the windup and the pitch. That ball's flied in the air, shallow left center field. That one's dropping in a hurry, charging in, diving, and making an unbelievable catch in center field for Lake Mills. What a grab in center field by Delger. The Bishop Garrigan killer has done it again. Folks, this man has tormented Bishop Garrigan on the basketball court. He's been on base each time at bat tonight, and he just made a no-hitter saving catch in center field. What a grab by Delger, an all-or-nothing play, and 2 outs away from a no-hitter is Kane Cook. Wow, what a play. It seems like every special pitching outing needs that one defensive play that saves it all. How many times have we seen that in the history of baseball? The pitch by Cook, and it's eye level of the year, ball 1. That is just the 2nd ball hit to the outfield tonight by either side, and the 1st ball that's left the infield for Bishop Garrigan. They at least gave themselves a chance, a ball in play. And now it's on Lear and Deitering to try to get on base. Lear hitting near the back of that right-handed box. The 1-0 pitch. Downstairs for a ball. 2-0 count from Cook. We'll see if he walks back in. That was such a thrilling play. You almost maybe get too amped up as a pitcher once you see something like that. And Cook is a pitcher who thrives on emotion. We've seen him pumping his fists when innings have come to an end. We've seen him really get emotive after a big strikeout in this ball game. 2-0 right now to Learer. Burns the fastball in there for a called strike. 2-1 count. 2 outs away from Lake Mills history is Kane Cook. The senior back on the rubber. for the 3-0 Lake Mills Bulldogs. The windup and the 2-1 pitch. Missed downstairs to Lear. Helgeson tried to bring that ball back up into the zone, but that was well down and out of the zone, especially for someone 6'6" like Nick Lear. That was clearly down and low. Golden Bears getting the rally caps working in the first base dugout. Lear tried to provide a base runner. Cook slings the 3-1 pitch, and he puts the fastball over the plate for a called strike. Full count here, Lear. Dietrich on deck. Graves in the hole for Bishop Garrigan. Should anybody get on base? One out in the top of the 7th for Lake Mills, leading at 1-0. And everyone here on the edge of their seats. The payoff pitch by Cook. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He got Lear fishing on one down low. That is K number 17 of the night by Kane Cook. And he is 1 out away from a no-hitter. The last hope for Bishop Garrigan, Aiden Dietrich. Over 2 of a couple of Ks so far in this ball game. 17 Ks for Cook. No hits, no runs for Bishop Garrigan. 1-0 Lake Mills. Can Dietrich come through here in the clutch? Cook kicks and delivers, and there's a foul tip into the glove. That is strike 1. Cook kept that one up high. He has been masterful so far tonight. Zeros across the board for Lake Mills, as Lake Mills has the 1-0 lead. The 0-1 pitch by Cook. At the knees for a called strike. He is 1 strike away from a no-hitter, and Dietrich steps out of the box briefly and looks down towards third base as he'll take a deep breath and try to battle back from an 0-2 count. Cook composes himself as well. Deep breath as he's back on the pitching rubber. The wind. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Cook came right at him that time with the fastball, and Dietrich was ready for it as he's able to fight it off and keep the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on base for Bishop Garrigan. Cook sitting on 17 Ks so far tonight, and Lake Mills looking for an early statement win over the 2-time defending conference champion. Here's Kane Cook. The windup. The 0-2 pitch. Foul back again. That pitch was up and out of the zone, but Dietrich in full protective mode that time somehow got that bat high enough just to chop that one off back to the screen. And it is an 0-2 count once more, as he got a piece of that one. Cook deep breath again. Flag limp out in center field. The motion and the 0-2 pitch. Down low. Dietrich fought about it, but he held back. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The catcher behind home plate, Helgeson, pointed at the batter and said he went, but the home plate umpire said, nuh-uh. One-two count. Kane Cook another deep breath. And the delivery. Sailed the fastball way up high for a ball. 2-2 count. Cook was trying to throw that one 130 miles per hour and finish this one with an exclamation point. Graves waiting in the on-deck circle. Dietrich trying to fight back into that bat. He's spoiled a couple of pitches, and he's taken a couple of pitches as well. Fans on their feet out beyond the outfield wall, leaning on the fence. The 2-2 pitch. Down in the dirt. Dietrich fighting back. Golden Bears rooting him on from the dugout as the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dietrich a strikeout victim his first couple times up, but he has fought back here against Cook. Cook wipes the ball on his jersey, he wipes his hand off and says he wants a new baseball, so flip it back in. Boy, you can cut the tension of a knife here right now. Dietrich will take a little stroll around the home plate area before climbing back into the batter's box. That is a pressure-packed and lonely feeling right now. The windup. The payoff pitch. Inside for ball 4. What a plate appearance by Dietrich that time. He spoiled a couple of 0-2 pitches. He took pitches that were out of the zone, and Cook misses in and off the plate. And head coach Joel Cook is going to go out to the mound to talk of Kane Cook. Again, folks, I don't know the pitch count here tonight, but he may be at or approaching 110. We will have to wait and see here, because 110 is the limit. You cannot start a new batter after 110, and he must be at 110 because he's being taken out in this one. Boy, that's a shame, folks, but what an outing here by Kane Cook tonight. You have to tip your hat to that young man. Had the opportunity of a lifetime to finish a no-hitter, and hats off to Aiden Dietrich as well, fighting that off and getting Cook out of the ball game with over 110 pitches. What an outing by Cook. A new pitcher coming in for Lake Mills as he has hit his pitch count limit. Bishop Garrigan still live with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. We'll be back with more next on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Kane Cook done tonight after 6 2/3 masterful innings. He walks 4 batters, he strikes out 17, and he does not allow a hit, but he hits the pitch count limit. And a new pitcher coming in for Lake Mills, the sophomore Lucas Helgland. Helgland last year as a freshman pitched in 9 games, 7 starts. His record 4-2, his ERA 3.40. He struck out 34 batters and he walked 14. The opposing batting average against him 179, as this is a save opportunity. Cook is responsible for the runner at first base, Aiden Deitring, and Caden Graves will be the batter for Bishop Garrigan. Well, you have to credit the Golden Bear batters. Every pitch matters when it comes to getting the starting pitcher out of the ball game due to the pitch count, and the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 batters for Bishop Garrigan have done a good job at least of working deep into counts, forcing the pitcher to work, taking pitches that were out of the zone and fouling off a few, and that is just enough to get Cook out of the ball game with the no-hitter. But I'll say this, folks, the 110 pitch count limit is there for a good reason. You want to protect the arms of young men, but boy, that is a tough scene here tonight. You just hate to see that. As Graves cuts and misses the first offering for a strike, 0-1 count. You just wish there was some sort of exception if a pitcher was throwing a no-hitter, because how many times in your life will you ever get a chance to accomplish something like that? Deitring leading off at first, Graves taking up and away for a ball as the count evens 1-1. Well, now it's tough too. Bishop Garrigan, you're still fighting for this game. It's a 1-0 score, even though it felt hopeless at times against Cook. This is still a very winnable ball game for Bishop Garrigan. And all it takes is one swing. Deitring, big lead off at first, and he's stealing second. Pitches down and away, and Helgland can't come up with it. He tried to get the ball out of his glove, but it got stuck in the mitt. And it'll be a runner in scoring position at second base as Deitring swipes the bag. So now all it really does take is one swing here for Graves. 1-1 count. Pressure-packed situation for the right-handed hitting junior against Helgland as he adjusts to a new look. That pitch is upstairs for a ball, 3-1 count. And if Cook out of the ball game, it's like there's a renewed energy in the Bishop Garrigan dugout. They were trying to cheer on their guys, of course, but there was a sense of inevitability when Cook was pitching. Now it feels like the door may be cracked open. 3-1, wave and a miss by Graves that time. Helgland mixing speeds on him, and the count's 3-2. You're adjusting to new speed and new off-speed offerings from the new pitcher. And a different looking arm angle as well. Full count to Graves, 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. It's a combined no-hitter for Lake Mills, and they get a statement win over the Golden Bears. The final in this one tonight, Lake Mills 1, Bishop Garrigan 0. A pitching masterclass on both sides in this one, and it goes in favor of Lake Mills. 18 combined strikeouts for the 2 Lake Mills pitchers. As we will step aside, wrap it up with final stats and analysis after this on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Thank you to these sports club members, bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
We welcome you back to Lake Mills, Iowa, where tonight it was a combined no-hitter for the Lake Mills Bulldogs. They defeat Bishop Garrigan 1-0 here on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Our video live stream brought to you by our many great sponsors, including Chem the Auto Center and Experience You Deserve, Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit, Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident, Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed, and PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. Again, the final tonight under Greg Penning and Company, Certified Public Accountant Scoreboard, Lake Mills 1 and Bishop Garrigan 0. Lake Mills improves their overall record to 4-0, while Bishop Garrigan, they will drop to 2-2 with what is, I'd say, a disheartening loss, but really they just ran into a pitcher that was locked in tonight with Kane Cook. He was excellent. He and Dan Mice in an absolute pitcher's duel in Lake Mills. The only run of the game they scored was in the third, and the walk that inning came back to haunt Dan Mice. After he struck out the leadoff batter, he walked Nash Delger, and that is a no-no because Delger would steal second base. He would eventually advance to third, and then he scored on an error by the shortstop Brady Garrigan on a slow roller of 2 outs by the shortstop Kane Cook. So that unearned run against Mice was all it took to defeat Bishop Garrigan, and that was all either team got here tonight in this 1-0 final. The only hit in this ball game came from Nash Delger, who had the leadoff single in the first inning on an infield dribbler. The first batter of the game for Lake Mills had the only hit for either side here tonight, as it was that kind of night. Elite pitching on both sides. And I'll talk about Nash Delger here to start off. Kane Cook really is the headliner, but I talked about him all night. We did not give Nash Delger enough love in this game. With all the great pitching that is, the great duel it was, Delger was on base all 3 times tonight offensively, and he saved the no-hitter for Lake Mills and potentially saved the game overall for Lake Mills. In the top half of the 7th inning, Bishop Garrigan got a fly ball to shallow left center field by Brady Garrigan. That looked like it was ticketed to drop in for a bloop base hit. Delger charged in full speed, laid out in a full dive, and made a tremendous catch to save Kane Cook's no-hitter at the time, and eventually the combined no-hitter. That play by Nash Delger was an outstanding play in center field, and every no-hitter, even this one being combined no-hitter, seems to have at least one great play by the defense. Tonight, that was Nash Delger doing that for Lake Mills. So again, especially with Bishop Garrigan getting a base runner later in that inning, that dive and catch in center really saved this one here for Lake Mills tonight. But Kane Cook, of course, was the headliner. He went 6 2/3 innings. His final stat line, no hits allowed, no runs, 4 walks, and 17 strikeouts. Kane Cook was masterful. He started off the game setting down the first 11 Bishop Garrigan batters. He struck out 9 of the first 11 hitters before Carter Schwab finally did reach for a walk in the 4th inning to break up that perfect game. But Kane Cook was dealing all night long. I'd say the only thing that stopped him from no-hitter tonight was hitting that 110 pitch count limit. And like I said in the final inning, folks, it is important to protect the arms of young men. You don't want guys going out and throwing 150 pitches and having their arm messed up for the rest of their life. But it is really just a shame that there's no way that a young man like Kane Cook could go out there and finish off a no-hitter that he really rightfully earned here tonight. So even though he doesn't get the official no-hitter by himself, he comes in, or he pitches, and then Lucas Helgren comes in. Helgren is able to fan Caden Graves after falling behind 3-1, the final batter of the game, to finish things off and get the win for Lake Mills here tonight. So Helgren picks up the save, and And again, it can be tough coming in to follow the act that Kane Cook was, but with a runner at second base of Deitring stealing, Helgeland buckled down, he got Graves, and the Golden Bears dropped this one 1-0 here tonight in Lake Mills. So tough one for the Golden Bears, but they will get back to action next week. And again, in the top of Iowa West, there is a lot of balance. There's a lot of good teams and a lot of pitching aces as we saw tonight. So one loss doesn't kill you here. Certainly you've got to play well going forward, obviously. But Lake Mills did make an early statement here in the conference race as they're off to a 4-0 overall start to the year. Now 3-0 in the conference. Bishop Garrigan falls to 2-2 as they are now 2-1 in conference play. Of course, stat line tonight for Dan Mice can't go overlooked. Mice threw 6 innings tonight. He would strike out 10 batters. He walked 5. He allowed 1 hit and 1 run. That was an unearned run in this one. And you don't blame Mice for this loss, even though he gets a loss in the scorebook. He did his entire job here tonight, everything you asked him to do. Again, maybe you'd like him to tune down the walks a little bit to 5, but he worked around traffic as best he could here tonight, and he really got in a good rhythm as well in this game. Overall, final thought in this one is it was just a treat to watch tonight's ball game. 2 outstanding pitchers going at it here tonight. Maybe the casual fan isn't super excited about a 1-0 game, but I think baseball purists can appreciate the 1-0 game, and even the casual fan can appreciate how locked in and how great these 2 pitchers were here tonight. So that is going to do it here tonight for this broadcast. The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears will drop this one against the Lake Mills Bulldogs by a final count of 1-0. So Golden Bears, they'll get back to action coming up on Monday night as we will sign off for this one. This has been a sports production of Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream as Lake Mills defeats Bishop Garrigan 1-0.